Greetings, everyone. Thank you all for tuning into the channel. It means a lot to me that you chose to watch one of my videos. Remember to hit the subscribe button so that we can continue to grow the channel and do bigger things this year. Oh, and leave a like. Today, I realized that I've been living in Portland for 5 months. Not in Portland, Maine, but in Portland, Oregon. Also, not in Seattle. I don't know why so many people think that I live in Seattle. But shout out to Seattle because I believe that's where iCarly was from. But anyway, I wanted to give a 5-month update on what it's been like living in Portland, Oregon so far. Be sure to check out my initial thoughts on the move in the link that pops up, either here or there or somewhere. But here we go. We have to talk about food first because since I've arrived in Portland, I don't think that I've eaten anything that I did not like. Well, except for pizza. But I'm moving from New York, so my bar for pizza is really high. And the pizza here in Portland just isn't that good. Also, there's no dollar slices. How can your economy function without dollar slices? Someone has to open up a Two Bros here in Portland. But all the other food I've had here is great. I'll give you guys a few suggestions on Portland places to eat. Bay's Chicken. Super good, flavorful chicken. They have a great chicken sandwich and they overfill you with waffle fries. Look like. Bomb Vietnamese food. Love their shrimp banh mi. And it's served with this vegetable medley as the appetizer. Plus they're open late. Not too many food options here are open that late, so they're really clutch. Bao Bao, they make amazing Chinese steamed dumplings. They have the perfect texture, not too soggy, just right. I did a shoot when I first moved here and the crew ordered from Bao Bao and I've been in love with them ever since. Screen Door. Now, I mentioned Screen Door in my first video when I just moved here and someone called me a tourist. But hey, Screen Door is just really good. They make great pancakes, waffles, French toast, cinnamon rolls, and that's just the breakfast and brunch. Come later in the day, they have an entirely different dinner menu for you. The catfish sandwich, woo! Okay, that's enough about food. Another great thing about Portland is how easy it is to get around. In my first video, I talked about the convenience of the TriMet bus system and the Max Rail. It's $2.50 for a ride and $5 for the all-day pass. And you're also able to load up your Hop Pass via the Hop app on your phone. But honestly, living downtown, there's a lot that I can just walk to. Grocery stores like Safeway and Target are just a few minutes away. The Pioneer Place Mall is in walking distance. Northwest 23rd is a great street for dining and shopping, and that's just like a 15-minute walk from here. Even getting to the Moda Center, which is where the Portland Trailblazers play, that's like a 25-minute walk. And I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but this is actually a sneaker channel. So this next one is really big. There's a Nike store and an Adidas store that are both within walking distance. But if you're not big on walking, of course you can still use public transit to get around very quickly. Even getting to the airport from downtown is a breeze. Taking the train, it's like 45 minutes, and if you're taking a car or Uber, it's like 20 minutes to get there. Plus, there's usually no traffic. People in Portland will say that it's traffic, but it's not really traffic. Traffic, looking for my chapstick. Now, I know that local people are going to get up in arms when I say this, but let's face it, Portland is a very cheap city. The cost of living here is very low compared to other cities that I've lived in. Oregonians think that I'm crazy when they hear me say that, but coming from New York, I feel like I've seen the worst. New Yorkers pay a lot of money for renting closets, but in Portland, you actually get a whole apartment for significantly less. And there's no rats sharing the lease with you. There's also no sales tax in Portland, so you end up saving on purchases, specifically big purchases like if you were to purchase a car. Face the facts, guys, Portland is relatively cheap. Hey, remember to subscribe to the channel. Okay, I know what people really want to hear about when it comes to Portland, Oregon. You want to know the negatives. You want to know why you shouldn't move here. Well, there are a few reasons. Homeless people are unavoidable in Portland, Oregon. They are everywhere, and you kind of just have to get used to it if you're going to live here. which can definitely be a struggle. It's like this in a lot of cities around the world though, not just Portland. You have the regular homeless who just can't afford a place to stay, but largely you have people who are just strung out. They're so far gone that it feels like The Walking Dead when you're going down the street. And it'd be one thing if they were just chilling in their own spaces, doing their substances on their own, but they definitely come out and make their problem your problem. They make a lot of noise. There's lots of yelling and screaming from junkies in Portland. I think I've become numb to it. It's just like a noise I expect to hear, but it's alarming when you first get here. They also break into a lot of cars. Just about every driver that I've met in Portland has told me about their car being broken into. And apparently it becomes even worse in the winter. As the temperature drops, they get desperate and they want to find a place that's warmer than just being outside, so they break into the nearest car. Thus, if you're going to live in Portland, Oregon, make sure that you purchase the house with the garage before you make the car purchase, because parking on the street isn't necessarily safe. Yeah, so the amount of homeless people in Portland is definitely an issue, but because so many of them are on drugs, I don't really know what the solution to that problem is. There is certainly a lack of diversity in Portland. It's not uncommon to walk into a space and find only white people in there. There are black people and people of color throughout the city though. It's not like you won't see us at all. Asian culture is heavily represented in Portland. I've met a lot of Asian people in my time here. Also met a lot of Latinx people in Portland, but you may have to work harder to find a black community. Like you may have to go up Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to find some of the black businesses and black people that live here in Portland. One thing that has been impossible to find is a black barbershop. I've searched far and wide and have not been able to find a black barbershop in Portland. Where are the black barbers out here? People keep recommending me barbers and their names are like Manuelito or Francisco, or they look like this. No offense to them, I'm sure they can cut, but you know. So thus, I haven't cut my hair since I left New York. But speaking of diversity, it is kind of weird that all around the city, you will find so many Black Lives Matter signs. And in most cases, you're just left wondering, where are the black lives? It's almost like marketing for black people to come and live here. Well, hopefully the marketing works on a black barber. Please come to Portland. Oh, it also rains a lot here, like a lot. Coming from New York, I'm used to establishments being open way late into the night, and I found that that just isn't the case here. Most places in Portland are closing around like 7 p.m., restaurants included. There's still a few places that will be open late at night, but it is slim pickings. If there is something that you want to get accomplished for the day, you want to get it done before 7 p.m. because people in Portland have an unspoken curfew. There is a little bit of nightlife. It's obviously not like being in a big city where 4 or 5 clubs may be open on the same street, but you still have a few options like Fuse in downtown, and a lot of bars like Rialto that are still open when the rest of the city goes to sleep. Oh, and did I mention that there's no dollar slices? Anyway, this has been an update on my thoughts about moving to Portland, Oregon after 5 months. Feel free to weigh in below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think of Portland, Oregon. What questions do you guys still have about the city? What would you like me to update you on in the next update, which will probably be like 10 months or a year. Also, again, remember to subscribe to the channel. Help me grow the channel so that I can continue to do more and more things on here. Leave a like, it goes a very long way. And if you made it to this point in the video, comment, "Keep Portland weird." Thanks again for watching, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.